Hi everyone, my name is Rachel and welcome to the French Seams. Thank you very much for joining me for today's Friday Sews video, where I will catch you up with what I've been sewing and crocheting, what's been coming into my sewing room, and a few plans as well. So as always, a huge thank you to Jen, who was the creator of the Friday Sews hashtag. So I hope you've all had a good week. It's been a good week in the French Seams household. I don't think I put out a Friday Sews last week. I don't think I did, but I do think I put out a makes video. So I'll link that down below. I think that's everything I got made up in January. So if you haven't had a chance to watch that, I'll link it down below. So aside from that, it was good over the past few weeks. An awful lot of sewing and crochet being done, which is fantastic. Shall I give you a weather update, because that's just what I seem to do. The weather has been going between being beautiful and spring-like, and then the next day absolutely howling a gale and the most awful rain and snow and cold weather, so I can't keep up. You need to be prepared for every single eventuality, but isn't that where the phrase March of Many Weathers comes from? Anyway, I digress. So back to what's been going on in the sewing room. So I will catch you up on what I've been doing. So I'll start with what I'm wearing, and I think this is quite seasonally appropriate given the week that we're in. So a very happy St. Patrick's Day. This is the Laura PR Lenne top, or Lenne top, and I was totally inspired by my fantastic friend Tania. She is Just Let Me Sew here on YouTube and over on Instagram. If you don't follow her channel already, then please do pop over. She makes the most wonderful things. Recently she had been making this top, and I had remembered that I actually had one of these tops and it was in green. So I dug it out this morning and I really like it. So it's in this lovely rib knit that I got from Dries about 2 or 3 years ago, I think, and it's got this beautiful kind of gathered neckline. I think it's really pretty, and I've got a Tilly and the Buttons Agnes top underneath because it's still not quite warm enough, but I thought it was really pretty for today and very seasonally appropriate. So that is what I'm wearing. Shall I let you know what I've been doing? So a little crochet update. I finished my blanket. I'm so excited. So cast your minds back. My fantastic friend Adam Sews, who I'm sure you all know and follow. If not, I'll link all his details down below. He very kindly gave me the kit to the Serdar Blossoms and Buds crochet along back when we went to that retreat back in November. And I was so super excited because you know I love these crochet alongs. I've done the summer one and I've done the Halloween one, and then I was kind of in the mood to do another one, and he said, well, would you like this kit? So grateful, Adam. Thank you so much. I loved making this. I loved every single second of it. I think it's actually my favorite one so far. I just loved the construction. I loved the stitches and how it looks and the colors. I just loved it. So it did take me pretty much the 6 weeks. The first kind of 3-4 weeks went very quickly, but then the last kind of 2-3 weeks took longer. So that's the beauty of following along with a crochet along that's already been released, because you're not under any time pressure. But in my head, I really wanted to get it done in those 6 weeks, and I just about managed it, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Pop in a full picture of it here. Hopefully I'll get a good kind of flat lay, and then when the weather cooperates, I'll try and get a proper outside picture to show you it in all its glory. So this is it. I love it. I'm so looking forward to tucking up on the couch under this. So we started on week 1 and we did these little pom-pom flowers and then the little daisies, and then week 2 we did this little applique daisy. That was the only bit of applique, which I loved. Then we moved on to these fantastic chevron rainbows, which is a beautiful technique. Then because it's all done as log cabin, you just work it in the round, which is fantastic. Then we moved on to these beautiful tulips, which I just loved doing. I think they're so pretty. After that, we moved on to these little blossoms, and I have given these a little press with the iron, a little steamy press, and they really kind of opened up. They're beautiful. So all these little pom-pommy, popcorny flowers, which are lovely. Then we moved on to probably the hardest week, which was this tapestry crochet of all the daisies. So for this, I was able to do the shorter panel, this one, as a standalone panel, and then sew it or crochet it on. However, for the much longer panel, I really struggled with the tension. So what I ended up having to do was do my foundation chain, attach the foundation chain to the whole blanket, and then work this on the blanket to make sure that I got the right tension that would fit. So that's how I kind of got around it. A little bit of cheating, a little bit of kind of, playing around with it, but it did work in the end, and the panel does fit, so I'm very happy. Then came the border, which is just lovely. So it's these kind of chevrons again, which we've done the rainbows. and then these little stripes. So you kind of do the or you level it out, then do your chevrons, then level it out again, then do another color, and then do these beautiful scallops on the outside, which are just lovely. So the pattern calls for you to do these kind of little mushroomy, bubbly yellow things, but I didn't really fancy that, so I just did the scallops in yellow as well, which I love. And I love how the corners came out. If I show you one of the corners, I think they're just so pretty. Look how that came out. I think that is just lovely. I think it's so pretty. And the other corner I think came out beautifully as well. And then if something doesn't really work out, as my lovely friend Sam Sparkle says, you just pop a mistake blanket on it and you cover up the dodgy corner with the beautiful label, and nobody will ever know. So, and here's the beautiful label, which I just love doing at the end, because that's like, right, I'm done, here's the label and it's finished. I absolutely love this, and I love how it came out. So very, very tricky to show you, but that's basically it. And I just loved it, absolutely loved it, loved every minute. Learned a whole new raft of stitches and new techniques. I didn't have to watch the video at all. I just followed the written instructions, which were fantastic, and I just loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it. Can you tell I'm very, very happy with it? So I have quite a bit of yarn left over. So in this kit, I know from my summer and my Halloween blanket there was a good bit left over, but here there seems to be quite a lot. So I would love your advice on what to do with it. I'm kind of thinking I want to do a kind of a granny square blanket, and I found a book, and I've totally forgotten the name. Auntie wrote it, isn't it? Utterly useless. I'll pop in a picture here. I'm not quite sure if that uses DK weight yarn, but I'm hoping that I could kind of use DK here to use up all this, because I have so many colours and I think these granny squares are just the cutest. So I will show you my bag. Very appropriate that I'm keeping it in an Adam Sews pattern. This is a Adam Sews tote bag. I'll link the pattern down below. It's a lovely kind of quilted bag. I love it. I made it for afternoon frocktails in Dublin about 2 years ago. And this basically is full of all the yarn that was never used. So there's a few that you've only used a tiny bit of. There are a couple of balls that weren't used at all, because you can see how much I've got left over. So there's quite a bit left over. So I think that would be a nice way of kind of using up this really, really fun colours in a kind of a little granny square type of way. So, but if you do have any advice for using up the DK yarn, please do let me know, because the colours are just so beautiful, and you know I don't like having a stash, don't like having a yarn stash, so I'd love to get them used up. So that is my little bag of beauty. So that was my crochet blanket. Delighted. If anybody is thinking about doing it, I would highly, highly recommend it. You can of course use your own colours, and because at this stage I don't think you can get a kit for this one anymore. So that was that. So now I'll move on to what has been coming into my sewing room. So I've had a few deliveries. So I knew I was going to be finishing up with that blanket, and I thought, maybe I need a new project to move on to. So not really seasonally appropriate to be doing any more socks. We'll put that to one side until the autumn winter. I thought I would like to go back to knitting and do a knitted garment. So I knitted a jumper about 20 years ago. I bought a kit from the Knitting and Stitching Festival when it was in the RDS in Dublin in about 2006-2007. I had no idea what I was doing. I loved making it, but it did not work out, and it never ever got worn. So it's been living in my brain ever since, and I would love to make another knitted garment now that I'm going to say older and wiser. I'm definitely older. I don't think I'm any wiser, because as always, my enthusiasm far outweighs my skill, but I would love, love, love to give it a go. And the pattern I would like to try has been hugely inspired by three fantastic ladies. They are Theresa, Lost My Thread, Sarah, Sarah Sewed, and Erin from Erin Sews, and they're all over here on YouTube, and I'll link all their channels down below. They have recently, in the past 6 months, a year, all made the Stripe Hype sweater, which I just love the look of, and their versions are beautiful. They are far more experienced than I am. But anyway, I'll pop in a picture of the pattern here. I think it's absolutely beautiful, and that's the pattern that I would like to move on to now. So I put in a little order. I was looking around for yarn, and I wanted to buy a few balls and see what the colour was like, see what the texture was like, all that good stuff. And I found a new to me Irish yarn shop called Woolly Castle, which is adorable. So I put in an order. The yarn arrived flat packed, which was very cool. I was very impressed about that. So I bought a few colours to see what they're like, and oops, I'm just starting my swatch because I'm trying to be a very good little knitter. And I bought these colours to start off with. So they are a drops yarn. And I'm now familiar with drops yarn because it was the drops yarn in my advent calendar that I made my socks with recently, the pink ones. So These are the colours that I got, and I'm going to try them out and see how we go. So I bought the right size knitting needles because I didn't have them in the circular ones. So we'll see how we get on. So you can do it in a variety of colours. I'm kind of thinking I might need to lengthen this. So again, no idea how I do that, but we'll figure it out. So I don't think I'll do the 3 panels of colours because then it'd be tricky to lengthen it. So I'm maybe going to do 2 colours in 2 stripes or something. I haven't quite figured it out, but we'll get there. But I think that's what I'd like to move on to. So those 3 ladies, entirely responsible for my next project. Their versions were just so beautiful, and I'm sure I'll be onto them for advice. I've already been onto my fantastic friend Cindy, who was a huge help to me and a huge inspiration to me in the world of crochet. But I messaged her the other day, I was like, how do I knit a swatch? And she sent on a fantastic link to a Purl Soho website, and I'll link that down below because it was super, super helpful. So any advice on knitting a garment would be very much appreciated. So that's what came into my sewing room regarding yarn. I also had to do a few cheeky orders and to buy something as well to finish off my lovely handbag, and she is finished and I will show you in just a mini moment. So I needed a little bit of hardware, and I love buying things like this for sewing. I think it's fantastic. I needed a hole punch, and this was quite tricky to find. I tried to buy it from a large online retailer. I bought it and then suddenly they said it wasn't available. Then I bought it from another shop and I bought it and then they said it's not available. And then I found it on the SewIrish website. So anyway, thank you very much to SewIrish. So this has been perfect for doing my hole punching to put in my little rivets. What I also needed was a craft knife, and I got this in the range. And it's worked out beautifully. So it's a little kind of scalpel-y thing which worked out beautifully for cutting the sides of the faux leather. So that's what I had to buy to finish off. So this project has been slightly delayed because I kept needing to buy little bits and pieces for it, but I'm very happy to have those in my little sewing stash now. So shall I show you my beautiful handbag? I love it. And here it is. So this is the Zina bag, and it is by Core Threads. Beautiful. So this bag here is a Core Threads, and can you see my other one? It's in there as well. So my 3rd Core Threads bag. Probably the most trickiest pattern in the ones that I've made so far, but still not insurmountable. The instructions are fantastic. I love her pattern so much. So the fabric is beautiful. It's from my wonderful friend Orla, Sewwha. So this is the faux leather in black. I'll link that directly down below. And then the lining, which I just love, is this beautiful heart lining as well. So they're both from my lovely friend Orla. The hardware is from Sarah at the Little Sewing Tree, so these little side bits, and then of course my little bow, which I just love. I really love these. So shall I walk you through the pattern? So it's got a little shoulder strap. It does come with a crossbody strap as well, which I didn't do, which I might add later because all you have to do is just make it and then put on the lobster class. So maybe. So little shoulder strap. Then at the front it's got this beautiful panel here, which is a lovely, lovely zip. Can you just see the zip in here, little tabs? So you can open that, and that's a lovely roomy pocket in the front. Then at the back, a lovely sleek back like this, and it's got a magnetic snap here and a lovely big pocket at the back as well. So that was really fun to do, new techniques to me. Then it's got a lovely zip at the top. And I love this zipper pull. It says handmade. I love these. So the zip goes all the way across. I just love the zip kind of placket here. I think it's really, really pretty. Then on the inside, and I do it the opposite way to the way she does it, so I really have to think about her pattern, because if I'm wearing it like this, I'm right-handed. I want the zip to close here and I want my zip pocket closer to me, so I have to kind of work out which way. Did I put it in backwards first of all? Yes. Did I have to unpick it? Yes, but it's fine. So inside on this side is a lovely welt pocket, which is how you turn the whole bag through, which is genius. So you've no invisible seam at the bottom of the bag. So welt pocket here. I've got a little Rosy Cheeks label saying handmade, which I think that burgundy matches perfectly. And then on the other side, you've got nice little slip pockets, and I think that's where I left you the last time, because I wanted the hole punch to do these rivets at the side, which are just wonderful. And these rivets actually came from Alfredo's stash. You've heard me talk about the lovely sews we lost recently, so I'm very, very happy to use these in this project. So this is my fantastic bag, and I'm so delighted. It is a kind of tricky-ish pattern. There's an awful lot of cutting out, an awful lot of measuring. Then even when you've constructed the front of the bag, you then have to go in and measure it against these kind of slanted sides and recut it once you've sewn it. So it's quite labour intensive, but really enjoyable, and it's just so methodical, and love it. Actually the side, which is why I needed the craft knife, I love the side panel. Look at this. So this is kind of folded in and then it's riveted down, and it's got the D-ring. I think that's a beautiful side panel. Really, really nice. Love that detail. So this is my lovely bag. very, very happy with it. I haven't even worn it out yet. I might do it today to treat myself. So absolutely love, love, love how this came out. So thank you for coming along on this journey. I am kind of showing it here because the top stitching is not perfect. It is not perfect. And I've been on to my lovely friend Orla about top tips of how to improve my top stitching. I think it's all about the needle, all about the thread, all that stuff. So I'm very much still learning, but I am having an absolute whale of a time doing it. So here is my lovely bag. So that's the sewing that I've been doing this week. What else has come into my sewing room? So I got a lovely fabric delivery. So Rainbow Fabrics this week put out a polka dot drop, which is really, really good fun. So I channeled my inner Pongo and Perdita, and I got this beautiful, I think it's a viscose satin fabric, which is just beautiful. It needs to go straight in the wash. I wanted to show you before it happened. Beautiful, really lovely weight, very, very drapey, absolutely beautiful. So here is the beautiful fabric, and it's just beautifully soft, beautiful drapey. So I got a good amount of it, and I would love to make a sew over it Etty dress. I love that pattern. I've made it a good few times. I think it's so super swishy, so super fun. I might line the bodice, I think, or I'll see what I'll do. I think I still might make the sleeveless version because I can pop a cardi over it, but then the full circle skirt is just fantastic. So I think this is destined to be that. It's kind of a cream colour with black spots. So how smart would it look with my lovely handbag? So this is going to be a project for the not too distant future. So they are some of my plans. So what other plans do I have? So Stitch Festival, it is next week. I am so super excited. So I will be there, all going well, on the Friday and the Saturday. So if you do see me, please, please, please come up and say hello. I would love to meet you. So I can't wait to go. This is my 3rd year going, and it's always been the best time. It really, really has. Wonderful shops, wonderful sellers, wonderful small businesses, a really great atmosphere, and fantastic sewing people. I've just always had such a good time, so I cannot wait to go. So I'm really, really excited about that. What am I going to wear to Stitch Festival? So I think I shall wear my Fabric Godmother champagne chic Davenport dress, because that definitely needs another outing, and I think that's the perfect venue for it. But then also on the other day, I kind of wanted to make a new dress. For the past 2 years, I have made a lot of dress, but I thought I'd put that to one side because there is a pattern that I would really, really like to make, and it is the Orchid dress by Chalk and Notch. I love chalk and notch patterns. I've made their fringe dress, which I absolutely love. So I'll pop in a picture of the fringe here that I made, and then I'll pop in a line drawing of the Orchid dress. So it's a beautiful midi length dress with a slit up the front, and then it's got these fantastic fluted sleeves, and then it's got a lovely kind of front yoke and gathers at the bust and everything. It looks beautiful, and I think the waist is a combination of a drawstring and elastic, which sounds really, really nice. So fabric, there is a story to this fabric. I got this fabric 2 years ago at Stitch, so I really, really want to get it made up. And I saw this on the Stitch Fabrics stand, and then I saw it and I thought, that's absolutely beautiful. Will I, won't I, will I, won't I? And then walked away, which is always a terrible, terrible idea. And I was like, oh, I think I'll go back. I think I'll go back. But then my lovely friend Sam, so let's sparkle. We were chatting then later in the day. We met up again, and she came and she presented me with this fabric because she had been at the stand, and a kind of recent winner of the Sewing Bee was there, and she was trying to buy this fabric as well, and she was trying to buy what was left on the bolt. And of course, Sam, being the wonderful friend she was, said, no, 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 my friend wants that fabric too. So Sam managed to take some of it, and the lovely Asma managed to get some as well. So that was really, really fun. So I'm so delighted with this, and Sam, thank you so much. It has been sitting in my stash for 2 years, and it needs to be made up, and I think it would be beautiful in the Orchid dress. I don't think it's particularly directional or anything. It's more kind of abstracty. It's a beautiful floaty, floaty fabric, and I think this would make a beautiful dress to wear to Stitch Festival. So I don't have much time to do it, so watch this space to see if I get it done. If I don't get it done, that's absolutely fine. I think I might wear something like my bell dress or something. I have a backup. I have lots of dresses. It's fine. But I would love to try and get this made up ahead of time. So watch this space. So they are my plans. So that was an awful lot of information, wasn't it? So thank you very, very much for sticking with me. Hopefully it's not too long a video. Thank you as always for watching. I really, really do appreciate it. I hope you have all had a good week with some lovely sewing or crafting, whatever you're into. If you are working on something lovely, please let me know in the comment box below. You know how much I love having the chats. So I will leave it there for now. I hope you all have a very, very lovely week full of lovely crafting and sewing, and I will talk to you all very, very soon in another video. Take care, everyone. Bye.